Hello from Antifa headquarters. Normally we'd be directing you to our Patreon and ask for your financial support, but we think that you'd be better putting that money towards local bail funds and community rebuilding this month. Solidarity forever.
Did I ever tell you guys about the dude I cut his ear off in a bar?
What?
So in the part of Philadelphia I'm from, Norristown, there's this other guy named JJ Balani. That's his full name. I don't care. Fuck it. You can believe it if you want to. But so he got in a car accident one day, flipped his car over. He had all these drugs on him. The police showed up and arrested him, and then he got out of jail real quick. So we all knew that he ratted on somebody. So fast forward to like a month later, and I'm in this bar, and this dude named Gene Desir comes in. His name is Gene Desir, and he walks in, and we're friends. And not that this matters, but he's a real big black guy.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Minneapolis as a city would beg to disagree, Dennis.
Yeah.
He's known around those parts for being a guy who went to jail for bringing a gun to school. So he's sort of like this guy that everybody's afraid of. And I was friends with him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was friends with him for like, I didn't know him that well. I've hung out with him a couple times, but I was friends with him sort of on the basis of like, yeah, I know this guy, so, you know, I know tough people, so don't mess with me. You know, it was one of those things.
Yeah.
So he walks into the bar, and I go to like give him a pound, and he just very obviously like shoulder whips away from me, like to demonstrate to everyone looking that he is not going to pound me back. So for the rest of the night, he's sitting at the bar, and he's like eyeing me with this evil eye all night that just like lets me know something is fucking wrong. So last call comes, and I'm holding a pint glass in my hand, and he walks around the bar, and he walks up to me, and he goes, "You know you're a fucking snitch, right?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You know you're a snitch, right?" And right as he says it, he punches me, but he swings and like hits me in the side of my head, of my ear. So just instinctively, I just take my hand with the pint glass and I smash it over his head. And I guess the glass breaks in such a way that it becomes like a blade and severs his ear almost entirely off. So it's hanging by a thin piece of meat from his head. Yeah. And everyone's looking at me. So, and I don't know what to do. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to double down. Okay. Because at any moment, this guy's going to pull out a gun and begin shooting me. So I just take the hand that had the pint glass in it. I drop the rest of the glass on the ground. There's glass stuck in my hand. I still have the scars from this. And I start licking the blood off of my hand while I'm making like eye contact with him. Because I'm like, I gotta go full fucking hog now. Because it's...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Like, I need to commit. So...
Jesus.
JJ just wipes his blood on his face, puts his war paint on.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
Hey, everyone. I'm Kelton.
And I'm Zach.
I'm Bo.
And I'm Dennis.
And I'm Scott.
And I'm JJ Demon.
That's right. We got a full, shoulder to shoulder experience
ass,
happening
baby.
here.
Yeah, the garage is pretty comfy right now. Nice and cozy next to all you boys.
Like
It's a little humid.
Toss me a beer.
This is the headquarters of the revolution.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Antifa headquarters, LLC.
A mostly
we
white
are.
podcast is absolutely the fucking... Okay.
William Barr's on his way here right now to arrest me.
It's the... Yeah, no, this is it. This is where the praxis happens. Fucking... me in my underwear in front of a microphone. I'm doing the good hard work.
Kim Jong MeUndies.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, we can be in our underwear?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know if you got the memo or not from all the rest of us being in just our underwear, JJ, but this is always an underwear only episode.
Oh yeah.
God damn it. Was that in the fucking...
It was in the docket, JJ.
That was in the docket. I really gotta start reading these things,
That
fellas.
was in the docket.
Oh, you read that shit.
By the way, how great do you think it would be if, like, from this point forward with guests, we just created some, like, boilerplate bullshit that we're like, by the way, we need you to sign this waiver before coming on the podcast.
By the way, do you have access to nipple clamps so you can just put those on while you're recording?
Thanks.
Perfect.
Yeah, we also have just
Yeah,
the
yeah,
little
just
pile
expensive.
of just house nipple clamps. If if you're interested in that.
Those are chip clips.
I mean, Bo has put each of them on, like
One of
every
these
inch
still
of
has
his
a nipple
skin,
stuck
but
in it.
They're fine.
It's called quality control.
That's Bo's.
Oh yeah, don't use that one. That's not a good one.
That's
Yeah, that one
Elbo's
hurts.
nipple. So,
Oh Jesus. Well, we're stuck in quarantine. Compounding
Yeah.
quarantine is all these activities and things that we should be doing now that the states are open, but we cannot because there is a curfew in place.
Oh yeah.
Why?
So
yeah, that's all that's happening though.
yeah,
Like,
that's all
you
that's
know.
happening, and as usual, we require more entertainment than we can find for ourselves. And to reflect that with the content we make, we've decided to add a second release of our episodes on Friday. These are for everybody, and whether we decide to do answer questions, or do a game, or have some other cool new format for y'all, we will be releasing it right before your busy weekends for your listening pleasure.
That is right.
Yeah,
And,
so-
I can't really think of a better thing than right now that people are like, you know what? In these troubling times, these dark moments, and the points of self-doubt.
The world needs a podcast.
Exactly. And another one from Mostly White Podcast.
Well,
It's the perfect thing.
not to just really launch into the unrest in the U.S., but Jake from Poddamn America was arrested, so I really think that it just goes to show that the podcasters are already being targeted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's very mixed emotions because you want to show solidarity with podcasters, but it's another
like-
Brooklyn podcast, and so it's also just kind of, market share wise.
Like,
Call me
Didn't
when they
even
get
make a dent.
Stavros.
yeah,
I just want to know what you guys are going to do to keep your fan base, because I mean, he's thrown down the gauntlet. Like the bar now is to get arrested. So what are you going to do to keep listeners?
We're gonna
Because
get him arrested. That's
but
what
what was
we're
he
gonna do.
doing to get arrested is the question. Like,
Corpse
they took
fucking.
his bike
Oh.
away, and then he was like in a van for a little bit, and then he got out by like 2 a.m. Like,
Yeah, they didn't know where he was.
Yeah, they didn't know where he was.
Yeah, that sounds calm and
Yeah.
like a fun
Yeah,
time.
His
where's the
girlfriend
video of
had
him
to-
getting thrown on the ground and curb stomped by the cops? I want to see that, huh?
are you
You think he?
are you saying you saw him on Animal Crossing at 4:30 a.m.?
You think he snitched?
Look, he's a Brooklyn podcaster. You know how much Patreon money they get? Okay.
Yeah,
There's
we
no
actually
way
do
that he
know how
didn't-
much. We do know how much his podcast gets. It's
There's
3,000.
More than
There's
us.
no way that he did not pay those cops to take him to some coffee shop and then so that he could sit down and work on his latest bonus episode in peace. for once.
I actually really do like that idea of like where like the cops take him in and they're like, by the way, you're free to go. And he's just looking like, I don't know, I kind of like it here. Can we just keep hanging out for a little bit? I mean, I got nothing else to do.
Actually, we're big fans of the show, sir. We just wanted an autograph.
Oh, sure, yeah, I'll
We all
sign.
know the only podcast that cops listen to is fucking Joe Rogan, so obviously that's not
Right.
the case.
Well, I mean, like he does feud with Louis J. Gomez, which I think is known as poor man's Joe Rogan. So I think that's pretty fair.
Well, getting
Let's keep
arrested is
contributing to this podcast discourse. By the way, I'm
getting
sure
arrested is
people-
the bare minimum. We really want to see how much, what was that list of like all the Patreon money that those top podcasts make? Like how much of that is going towards bailout funds?
Now that is very interesting. Okay, so what about we do that? We just get Gwen Snyder arrested every time. We're out here really doing some real practice.
For being too damn sexy.
Yeah, that's the
What?
That's how we stir up the tweens, the fucking
the Zoomers.
That's how we get them. We get them really, really donating to these funds, but specifically the one for Gwen Snyder.
Hey man, I'm at this point. I'll donate to whatever.
Yeah.
As long as I can get a haircut.
Well, no, I mean, the fact is that she says that she's going to tell her side of the story with all this podcast drama, and I think that it's important. I think it's important that we ask that the Snyder cut gets released. So let's go ahead and start that hashtag of hashtag release the Snyder cut.
I got
we
some
can
bad
really
news
make
for
it
you,
trending.
Hilton. I'm gotta say I'm pretty sure this was already trending. But not.
Oh, see, people are already on board.
Once or twice.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna be real disappointed when you start scrolling through that on Twitter.
Well, I mean, like, the most important thing is that, we make sure to hold these people accountable, because to just, like, view, for example, that, like, some bizarre type of superhuman collective of sorts, like, I don't know, like the Podcasting Justice League, if you will, would come in and save the day instead of being this overblown, bloated, and kind of just overwrought idea that doesn't actually end up going anywhere, but has, like, this weirdly fanatic fan base to it that isn't representative of the events that happen in the real world. I mean, like, that just doesn't sound like something that would occur, right, Zach?
No, that's not projection.
No, okay, great.
Yeah,
and I'll keep scrolling. So.
Just keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling.
If we're
That's
gonna,
the name
like,
of the game.
really talk about the people that are pursuing justice and justice this week, Trump has posted, I want to say every tweet that he has made, he's talked about justice. But I'm pretty sure that he prefaced it by saying that he wanted justice for Target. And that's it.
Fantastic.
That's my president. God damn it.
That's my president.
He supports small businesses.
This is when he became president.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you see that? You see that lib article in, like, the Times where they were like, Trump's not acting presidential, so everyone just ignore him. He's not being our president, so don't treat him like he is.
Wow.
Did it work? Did that work?
It totally worked.
I think so.
I don't know, because I'm still ignoring him.
They're giving him the silent.
He's feeling
Yeah,
the pressure.
Like,
He's finally.
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, as soon as somebody checks, like, it's fucking back to square one. Like, we've got to restart, not paying attention.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just fucks up the whole
Okay,
thing.
I see.
Well-
It's sort of an Ouroboros here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
he was certainly feeling the pressure. He finally got around to declaring Antifa a terrorist organization after. Was that like 2 years ago that he tried to do it?
Finally.
Yeah, I mean, thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
Thank
that
God.
fucking all caps fucking acronym Antifa, which Lord knows what ANTIFA stands for.
Yeah.
All right.
That
I mean,
You're
organization.
not a
say-
true leftist movement in America, though, until you've been designated a terrorist organization.
Or a brown
I mean,
or
seriously.
a brown shirt. Maybe
Right.
maybe 2 tweets away from each other. Really
Yeah.
hard to.
Austin Redguard wishes they could get this lucky to get declared a terrorist organization.
Oh God.
Christ. No, this is official. This is official as of today, Sunday. As of our recording.
Yeah, I mean, like a
Antifa's-
couple hours. Yeah,
Antifa's
couple hours
terrorists
before recording.
That's it.
I think the scary thing about it is that they can now use it to, like, frame protesters. Like, oh, you had a black shirt and a black, facial scarf on. You're part of Antifa. You're a
But
terrorist.
that's
So it's
not
like, instead of
Antifa.
just, like,
That's Black Bloc.
no.
Well, it doesn't matter to the fucking idiots who are, throwing the books.
Yeah.
Like, they
yeah,
don't know
that's
the
what I
fucking
mean.
difference.
Is they can use it to, like, oh, instead of 2 years for smashing a cop window, you get 12, 10 for being a terrorist, 2 for the.
They
So
they
does that mean
showed
we
an
have to
iPhone.
create like an actual? Wait, that means we have to create like an actual Antifa organization, and then we can declare that these people are not part of Antifa. In the same way that like ISIS
there we go.
claims credit
There's
for
a fake
everything.
Twitter for you to make right.
Well, I mean, it's just like these actions are not on behalf of Antifa. Like our moment is coming soon, like, and you just keep like gaslighting.
Yeah, like, that's
people.
not us, guys. One of these other ones is going to be us, 100%. Just keep your
Yeah.
eyes peeled.
We'll let you know definitely what happens.
Yeah, the entry, the price to be, the dues that you have to pay each year are literally $1 million.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
That
have
would
to
be-
give
oh
us your
my God.
Soros checks.
That would be amazing. Oh my God.
See, all of this is happening because it's all funded by George Soros. He's pissed off because we started taking our Trump bucks and we stopped taking Soros
Yep.
checks, and now he's
Mhm.
mad.
Yep. He's very
Yeah.
jealous. He's a very jealous man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah, and he loves communism, and he loves, when you ruin capital for rich people. He's like a lot of other billionaires that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like billionaires' favorite thing, right? When you're anti-capital.
Right.
Have you seen that article, by the way, about Soros, about where they're like, well, of course he's a billionaire who's also a communist who hates rich people. He was a Jewish person who turned in other Jewish people during the Holocaust. This is the first time he's been a traitor. Oh my God.
You can like go back through the history books, and it's like George Soros has been alive for like 700 years.
He's just a vampire.
Immortal evil.
Just a weird Jewish vampire.
It's George Soros and Keanu Reeves on the wall in all of the Catholic churches across England. And was during the Dark Ages. It was George Soros and Keanu Reeves who went monastery to monastery, making sure that the manuscripts were saved by the monks.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Back in the Middle Ages, he was one of the targets of the Spanish Inquisition.
See, I know we're making jokes about George Soros being an eternal vampire, but that probably is a legitimate theory, so I'm not sure.
Yo,
Yeah, don't look too close to my sources. It's the Protocols of the Order. Wait, what is this?
I thought that this was like Robert's Rules of Order for some reason. This is.
It has a cross on the front. Oh no, that's not the right.
This does not bring me joy.
Speaking of immortal vampires, there are plenty of other celebrities who have weighed into the protesting.
My God, will they ever shut up though? Like the fact that there has been so much that was made about fucking Taylor Swift tweeting, and then I think the title of an article I saw was Taylor Swift and the tweet that could help take down a president. Which fucking God.
Yeah, it's a selfie of her across the street from the White House with a rifle. That's the tweet that could take down.
There you go. Oh my God, if
Taylor Swift doing that specifically, I can't.
Yeah, if she went full Symbionese army on us and was like, I'm gonna gun down Trump, that would be amazing. Then she would be very much the Yas Queen that people say that she is.
I mean, the K-pop stands are already all over ACAB. It's weird to see them starting to pop up in the Twitter feed, and it's clearly it's like the account is called ACAB. There cannot be any good cops, and then they're tweeting something like, "We stand against all forms of corruption." But the profile picture is a BTS member, and so is the account name, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's
right.
It's happening. It is happening.
Praxis as fuck.
Taylor Swift wishes her fans were that good.
Imagine if you're Vladimir Putin and the Russian government and spent all this money and time to come up with the perfect meme to bring down the U.S. government, and instead Britney Spears and Taylor Swift into taking it down.
Absolutely.
No, Britney Spears lighting her gym on fire was the inspiration we needed, I think, when George Floyd. God.
Who else? Ben
bad.
Garrison
It's
is
bad.
something broke inside of Ben Garrison.
Yeah, I didn't see this. You guys were talking about
Trump
it
left
the
him
show.
on red all weekend, I think is what happened.
Oh, Jesus.
So what happened?
Well, yeah,
Can somebody? Yeah.
With Ben Garrison?
Yeah.
He's apparently ACAB as fuck, at least for a little bit. He's about to get real racist, so let's not
right.
get our
It's
hopes
gonna
up
go
or
that
anything
way,
here.
but.
Yeah.
But at the moment, he is incredibly against the cops' actions over in Minneapolis.
Wow.
Yeah, he's posting. He's posting about how the cops are brutalizing Americans and.
He's tweeting JJ Demon lyrics.
Yeah. He's got
there you go.
One black life's more valuable than 1,000 blue quotes.
Ooh, man. He's got badge of dishonor. The badge is on the cop's left knee. And it's
wow.
It's
very subtle cartoon.
Very
yeah.
subtle cartoon.
It's
which
political
I think
cartoons, what do you
this should
expect?
go to show, by the way, that when he makes a left-leaning one, we're all like, no, this is actually kind of cool. I mean, it's still kind of an objectively bad political cartoon.
Yeah.
From
But,
the
Yeah.
overlabel.
Also, I mean, the whole like fucking stopped clock thing is a lot better when the rest of the clock, like, you go to fucking like 5 o'clock and it's like, oh, time to be super like 1910s racist against Chinese people
Right,
now.
like
I'm
Like,
at
it doesn't
3:30
always
and it's
have-
just a picture of Buttigieg's butt all fit and popping out, just juicy butt.
It's just Goatsy with a rat face on it. What the fuck?
Yeah, can you imagine if Ben Garrison discovers vaporwave as a result of all of this?
Oh,
Like how his
fuck.
art would change.
yeah, it'll definitely be through Fashwave though. That's the unfortunate thing.
Well, okay,
It's
you
just
know,
gonna be a
like-
bunch of statues of David.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be the fucking floral shop cover, but like with some fucking no-name YouTuber, like Blondie, PewDiePie Defender or whatever his fucking name is.
Do they like those statues because of the tiny penises? Is that why it is?
No, it's maybe.
It's
I
because
don't know.
it's considered like classical
Why not?
era art and Renaissance era.
Nah, babe,
enlightenment.
you don't understand. I have a Renaissance dick.
Yeah, I gotta-
It's okay.
I am
It,
a Renaissance
it means I'm
man
smart.
in every way possible.
Not me, it's you.
All the dick went to my brain.
That's why I'm the dick. Now, wait a second.
I am a dickhead.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I mean, okay, so there is
I gotta write theorems. I don't care about your orgasms.
so there is a art historical reason why the dicks are small, and it's because the Romans really enjoyed youth, so they were like, yeah, small dicks are cool because it makes us look young, and it's like, uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
like,
is a hell of a gamble that you're taking, like, for historical purposes.
Coincidentally, the Romans also invented pizza. I'm just saying.
It is good.
Fuck up, Bo.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm
I mean, they
drawing the lines
eventually
here.
made pizza. They eventually did.
Look, when you check in the
Yeah,
ruins,
like in like 0
yeah,
AD.
when you check in the ruins of Pompeii, it's just pizzas and child trafficking.
Yeah.
That's what.
a bunch of fucking DiGiorno's. Yeah.
And aqueducts.
Written, scrawled, chiseled, and graffiti on the walls of an aqueduct is Latin for beware of 5G. Just,
Actually, it was VG back
Yeah,
then.
it was VG back then. Thank you very much, Bo. Historically accurate.
You're welcome.
It's fucking stupid. It's a dumb
Oh,
show
man.
for idiot people.
Yes.
and thank you so much for listening. We appreciate this.
I really do. Thank you very much.
We know that y'all could choose NPR or any other form of.
You could be listening to jazz.
Someone like
TrueAnon
Smart.
Pod. They also rant and rave about the fake news bullshit lion media.
Look, we could all be elsewhere. We know.
Yeah, but I guess let's keep digging into what we have seen on the timeline. I know here in Texas specifically, Dallas has been the most filmed because Dallas is home to a bunch of right-wing idiots. Tommy Lahren, the Blaze TV is based out of Irving, which is Dallas.
You hear
did
that,
Tommy move
Irving?
from
You're
LA?
Dallas now.
Yes, Tommy's in.
Dallas
She
now?
has, I believe, 2 houses.
Oh,
She
okay.
does
Of course
have
she
a
does.
house in LA.
Yeah,
Of course, she
I
probably
mean-
summers in Los Angeles.
Oh wow! But winter in Texas because it's the same temperature as summer in Los Angeles.
In all fairness, though, I mean, there's the entire Park Cities. Like, how many other Tommy Lahrens are just waiting in the
Oh
wings,
yeah,
right?
Gavin McInnes is also Dallas, I believe.
Oh, he moved from
And
Canada?
Of course he is.
Several other people who I don't know off the top of my head because I try not to think about them all the time.
Think about them like
Yeah,
just
it
4
sucks.
hours away from you.
Kelton has bottom
Yeah, I was
right.
gonna say,
It's printed out here on the dock, and I keep reading it as bottoming right, and I don't know why.
yeah,
don't wanna-
let me
you don't
tell
wanna
a
do
little
it
bit about
wrong.
bottoming right. Yeah.
yeah, me and Dennis, let's have
First
this
of all,
conversation.
eat a fucking bunch of lasagna like 2 hours
Oh,
before.
no.
So much
But-
dairy. All you need to just be drinking milk up until
Do
the
you wanna-
second.
You know what? You know what I like to
Zach, I hate
treat
you right now.
my
Oh my
dates
God.
to is a baked brie,
Oh God.
just some hot cheese.
Well, I
Just
mean,
like-
like, is that actually
spinach
like
quiche or
code, by the
something.
way? You know, in the gay community, like, oh, here, you know, I did a queso flamiato. It's both a delicious appetizer and a sign that you're not getting lucky at the end of this. So,
Pretty much. I mean, the sign that it is going to, like, you are definitely gonna fuck that night is like if the guy gets the soup
So
and a
what if
salad.
you take them out for curry and then still eat. the rest?
R.I.P.
Like, what
gay
does that
people in
make?
Boston. Just being, yeah, I'll get the clam chowder. Oh, that's the sign.
No. No. Well, then you find out that the top just enjoys painting.
No, okay.
Oh no.
No, okay, so okay, that went over everyone's head. No, painting is when your bottom leaves a little left, like a little behind.
Oh no, no.
Yeah,
I'm,
that's
I'm,
kind of what I was thinking.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 I was
No, I
thinking,
picked
like,
that
Really
up.
into
some ink there
painting.
or something. Yeah.
All of us were visualizing it. That and you know, like
Yeah.
there's some guy who's like doing that form of painting with a whole bunch of baby Roman dicks right now.
I mean, we're all terminally online, Dennis.
Jesus.
I mean,
Anyway, that's our coverage of the riot, I think.
What they should be doing is continuing to paint cop cars and public buildings that are racist monuments. Dallas is
And
getting
if
a lot
you-
of airtime from Texas, and the cops are literally just showing up to peaceful protests and shooting tear gas.
Hey, and if you could do that
yeah,
with
yeah.
like your with literal shit, that'd be cool too. Like,
Yeah.
just throw shit at these racist monuments
You
and
have
cop cars.
that much bowel control to
The
just
CNN
like
building.
squat and like shit in your hand and just hoof it at police officers.
Okay,
Fucking-
one word, Zach. All right, monkey army. Okay.
God, you're really.
Fuck yeah.
We're
It's a
really
hyphenated
pushing-
word.
we're
Hold
really-
on, I thought about that, and that could really be used negatively in these riot situations.
Yeah, you got to strike that from the.
We are
record.
really,
All right,
Next
so-
we're really
Yeah.
pushing the Rise of the Planet of the Apes timeline, and I am not
I
comfy.
also.
I'm not comfy accelerating towards that.
God, I didn't know I was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Oh no!
Oh.
Jimmy, pull up a picture of those.
Shut the fuck up! I hate this. It's so stupid.
But the one of the best things I've seen is the I think it was the Fayetteville Market House. Is that the
Yes,
one that
the-
burned?
Yeah, the Fayetteville, I don't know how you pronounce that. The
Fayetteville-
Market House.
The slave auction house that they fucking burned. Fuck that house. Fuck
That's
that
beautiful.
place.
And
That's
in
beautiful. Yeah.
Virginia, the Daughters of the Confederacy burned too, which is great.
Mm.
As potentially a daughter of the Confederacy, I'm very happy to hear that this burned down.
Hold on a second.
Wait, what?
My family may or may not have fought for the South. Anyway,
No, we need to dive into this a little bit more.
Okay,
explain.
Okay,
Let's pull out our calipers here. And hear it take.
Cancel
Okay,
and
so
go.
it's not very well known Mexican American history, but it is among certain folks that after Texas became the Republic of Texas, there were still Mexicans in the area, even though it was at one point Mexico. And then it became America, and then it became the Confederate States. Well, the Confederacy decided that because the Mexicans didn't want to fight for the South, they were vehemently against slavery because it had already been abolished in Mexico. The Catholic Church had already abolished it, even though Brazil still had it for a while anyway, for like almost 100 years more.
It's cool. They had a lot of trouble translating it into Portuguese.
Right.
So no
Not
big
100
deal.
years, like 50 years, something like that. Anyway, well, the Confederates were like, hey, we'll go ahead and give all of you Mexicans your rancheros back from before the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. And they were like, okay, I guess we'll go ahead and fight. And some of those Mexicans might have been my ancestors.
Oh joy! Oh
Yeah.
joy!
I can't find the record anymore. I was able to find it at one point, and I can no longer find it online. But it does say my family's last name in Bexar County, which is where they are from. So I was like putting two and two together that the first documents of my family in the United States are Confederate records.
If you want someone to
Okay,
blame
so
for the Robert
everybody-
E. Lee statues that are all over the U.S., you can blame Dennis.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, you've heard it here first.
Yep, so
PDG is going to be
I
looking
would-
for a new host.
Okay, but here's the thing. How fucking like it would so fucking slay if I went to the Daughters of the
It was so
Confederacy
fucking slave.
over
I agree.
here in Pasadena, California, and just be like, "Hey, ladies, I'm here. I'm one of you all now." And then I don't know. I'd probably burn the place too. I mean, in Minecraft.
Yeah.
That
There you go.
I think could work as an idea there, Dennis. It sounds like there's been many a sweat-filled, guilt-filled night about after you looked up that horrible fact of your family.
Oh yeah, no. But here's the thing, and I want this has been said at a lot of anti Black Lives Matters protests by Mexicans that the Mexicans fought with the Confederates because we were lied to, as if we would ever get anything back from these white devils who took our land. And
Excuse me, sir. Robert E. Lee was a very honorable man.
Yeah.
I love how the only POC on the show has roots in the Confederacy.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
but-
we really shot for woke.
This is a dark
We
timeline.
did not hit. We did not land very well.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What I'm saying is just don't trust the Anglos.
Yeah.
Well, see, actually, this is like society. Actually, we're doing society a favor because we could all have separate podcasts, but instead we're all here together, and so we're actually limiting our scope.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might
Limiting
call
the-
us
we're
a
actually
confederacy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're actually doing society a favor by hanging out together instead of separate.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
There we go.
have
we're
instead of
just
having
a confederacy that is choosing to segregate. I agree, Scott. Good job.
instead of 6 almost racist podcasts, we just have one almost
Yeah.
racist podcast.
One very racist podcast.
When you combine all the almost racists into one, it's actually more racist.
You could stop at 5 at 6 podcasts.
You got Dennis against black people, Kelton against the Chinese, Scott against Lithuanians. Zach just, really, really, really has just an awful thing, I think, for anyone of the Inuit variety, which, that's complicated.
Dibs on gamers.
You know what? I've really been upset with Belarus. I just don't like the name Belarus. Fuck people from Belarus. Belarusians, whatever they are. No, I mean...
We're gonna do what I'm saying is when it's time to protest, we're gonna be doing race science on the police officers. That's how we get
Christ.
them. We attack their heritage.
Jesus.
When we go out,
Yeah.
we hit the streets. We do not need weapons. We need only our calipers and our extensive knowledge of family trees.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I think the best endorsement that the writers could get would be from Woody Harrelson, whose father famously killed a judge. If he were to then say it's heritage, not hate, that would be some of the most amazing thing.
We protest the police in the rich tradition of Mel Gibson.
Oh no!
I hate this timeline. God
Oh man!
Somebody drop in.
Famous
there.
ACAB idol Mel Gibson. Oh god.
Really a hero of the proletariat. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And oppressed
There's
people.
a
everywhere.
there's a lot of stuff just happening. I'm very glad that we can laugh about it. Is there anything else though that you guys saw that was just that stuck with you? From
I mean, there are a lot of images I've seen online that won't,
Yeah.
leave my memory, but they're not exactly ha ha, can you believe it? Upvote that shit. Fave it.
Yeah, it's a lot more along the lines of well, I guess I'm stopping by the liquor store twice this week.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
been quite a few moments where I just nearly burst into tears because of the police brutality. It's been pretty tough.
I'm
well,
not gonna lie.
See,
I've
everyone
cried.
made fun of me for when I wanted to make my spoof organization the National Bomb Association, but now, I have
I
to
remember
legally
that, yeah.
say that it's definitely parody.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
In Minecraft.
Jesus.
Oh, just to
parroting
let
our
everyone know,
episode
I just
is
got an
fucking
emergency
in
alert
Minecraft.
that there is a citywide curfew
Yeah.
in my
Oh,
city.
great.
Yeah.
Is it?
Hmm.
Let's see. It's almost 6 there. Is it at 6 p.m.?
Yes,
It
6
is-
p.m. to 6 a.m.
It is 5:45 p.m. right now. They sent it out 15 minutes before. They did this in Chicago last night, was it? Where they said there's a curfew in 15 minutes, and they raised all the bridges and they stopped the trains.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
Just to
fucking
let you know.
dipshits.
Now, here's the thing. This
So-
is probably for LA County. I do not live in LA County. I live in Orange County.
Sophisticated.
But yes, I can imagine that this is something that the LA. I could read this verbatim right here. The County of LA is declaring that a curfew will be in place from 6 p.m. tonight to 6 a.m. tomorrow for all Los Angeles counties, including all cities within the county. Traveling to and from work, seeking or giving emergency care, credentialed media, and the homeless who are sheltering in place are exempt. And we know that that's actually not the case because we've seen so many journalists just like fucking gunned down
Getting attacked, yeah.
by rubber bullets, and also homeless people beaten up and people trying to, get home beaten up by the cops. It's wonderful. It's great, folks.
There really has
So-
been
It's
like
almost as
a
if
wide,
all cops
weird.
Here's
are bastards.
a quick opportunity for some legitimate discourse. How, given, what's going on, pandemic, riots, we're all of a certain persuasion and, way of thought. Like,
It's
do
pronounced
you-
white of
Do you
thought.
feel, yeah, right. But do you actually how do you all individually feel about the way things are and like where it's going? Like, is it, is it enough that's going to bring about systemic change, or is this just, another blip in the news cycle? kind of a
There
thing?
are 30 major cities that are reported to have full-scale protesting occurring. Every
which
major
is
city
good.
in the U.S. has some sort of protest happening. It is amazing. I wish that we could be doing more. I wish that I
Yeah.
could be out on the streets, but I'm not. And I think there was something interesting that I heard somewhere else that said that for every one frontline person, there are something like 25 people behind the scenes that are supporting that person to be out there getting arrested, demonstrating, standing against the cops. And that is people that can feed large numbers of people, that can house them if they, if you can't travel outside of the inner city area. People that are coordinating rides, that are coordinating bail funds, that are coordinating, supplies, making sure there's water, making sure there's
Exactly.
anti tear gas and pepper spray stuff on hand. There are medics. There are people posting online. There are journalists. There are journalists being threatened. There are journalists that have gotten damaged. I don't know how to say it. Like the one lady that got shot in the eye with a rubber bullet, her eyeball exploded.
Yeah, she's
I mean,
permanently
yeah, you
blind.
can say shot in the
I-
eye.
Yeah,
like,
she's blind.
That's
Yeah,
the
she's
thing.
yeah,
blind. Like, how do you? There's so much to do.
I don't-
I
I don't understand the so as we all know that the propaganda exists in very many ways, but local news is one of the biggest pushers of propaganda, and they're actively attacking their biggest cheerleaders, the people that they send these like packets to of them doing like funny TikTok like lip syncs and things like that.
Yeah, playing basketball with kids.
So how is this
fucking,
going
yeah,
to work out? How
dabbing.
and like people find their local news, even if it's like owned by Sinclair, to be the most reliable and the most or the least biased, even though that's fucking ridiculous. But
It's a low bar.
right, the layperson does think that. So how are they going to be able to spin this? Like how does anyone feel like this is okay?
I mean, it's good that it's good that Donald Trump and the current American regime seems to almost have drank its own Kool-Aid, in that it believes the lie that we've told for years, that we are the world's police, that we are this this massively powerful entity that cannot be stopped, and nobody needs to get in our way, and so on and so forth. Because it means that we failed in a lot of our attempts over the last 4 years. It's good that the cops have drank their own Kool-Aid and believe they're this unstoppable force. That's why they're coming out of the gate violently, and they're coming out of the gate to maintain power. They're not coming out of the gate wanting to work with the crowd and make sure that everybody can exercise the right to protest
De-escalate
and de-escalate and try to make
yeah.
sure that property isn't damaged, because that is what they are there to do.
They don't know how to
They don't,
de-escalate,
because
though. Like, they don't even have that
yeah,
skill.
they don't know how to de-escalate.
Yeah, they're a bunch of fucking hot dog fucking headed
that's-
idiots. Like, they're police. Like, they're not smart people.
Yeah, and they're actively attacking journalists. They're using tactics that are used in every other country across the world that we always talk about how horrible it is. In Hong Kong, in Chile, in what's the other place that they were writing? I don't remember specifically.
In
Hong Kong.
Venezuela and Argentina, like all over the place.
There are
Everywhere,
there it's such a thing that they get shot in the eye with rubber bullets that people just wear eye patches in like solidarity with them. That is a sign that we have joined the rest of the world in unrest.
We
We
have become a third world nation.
Yeah.
The question is that I was posing: is it enough? Or I mean, we've got an election in like 6 months. Is that even going to happen? Like,
that is a very fucking good question.
We don't know.
Like, is I hate to fucking keep bring it up, but like, fucking Joe Biden.
Exactly. Like what?
Here we, like what the all this shit that's going on. Like, we have no leadership. And I think that's the thing we seriously have to start talking about at this point, is that if we're going to do anything with this moment, there needs to be a leader, for good or bad. Like, we are now, people are going to be labeled terrorists by the government. We have no leaders, and Bernie and AOC and all that shit. That's not the kind of leader I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
We're talking about how you need a strong man to come in to tell people what to do. To
I know, but
be
the
the main
thing
shot
is-
caller, if you will.
Well, and that's also
Like-
another thing.
If only Nancy Pelosi were here to
Oh,
clap
God.
at the cops, I think it'd be very different.
Fuck. God.
The thing is, like, we know what has happened to these leaders. Like, we've seen it all before. Like, we know what has happened to.
Shot
Yeah,
in
we
the
know.
head in the burned out car.
absolutely.
We know what happened to Fred
Ferguson.
Right. We know what happened to Fred Hampton. We know what happened to Malcolm X. We know what happened to MLK. Like, no one wants to be the leader because, like, even at the time before the police were militarized, they were able to take them out.
Which is almost
Yeah.
a point in the favor of the existing protests, is that they're very decentralized and there's not really any one person that's the voice of the revolution. We've kind of gotten to the point where these are happening. They're being organized locally, like groups are going, but there's not a central leader, which means there's an opportunity for. I mean, I'm going to circle us back around to the podcasters being targeted here. There's an opportunity for.
How can we make it about us?
Yeah, there's an opportunity for
Yes.
people with platforms to continue to talk about the things that we have talked about and to be voices that people listen to, because we don't need one leader. If we have one leader and we disagree with them, then we're fracturing our movement. We need lots of people that are listening to each other, that are sharing ideas. And I mean, that sounds
I
really
didn't mean to cut you off.
idealistic. It sounds really idealistic because it means also there's not one person that we look to that's making demands of the U.S. government. But everybody's pretty much saying the same thing. Defund the police. Is a pretty
Right.
resounding cry that I've heard across most of the protests.
Yeah,
And it's
class.
coming
I mean,
from
well, that's the
across
thing. Yeah,
board.
once you get the fucking zeitgeist moving the right way, you get enough people like saying, "Hey, we're not gonna fucking stand for this anymore." That's when you see change happen too.
Right, like class consciousness is spreading right now. Like even people that don't have the language for it, like I see sort of dancing around the edges of it, that I did not see before. Like I don't know if anyone here listens to the Joe Budden podcast. Probably not, but I do because hip hop and such. But that they were talking about this on the latest episode, and all four of the hosts are like basically twirling around class consciousness and communism without realizing it. I mean, it's just the language isn't prevalent in culture today, so most people just don't have it. But they're basically that's what they're getting
it's been
at.
fucking programmed out of us for a
Exactly,
century.
and they keep going in circles of like, well, what is the answer? What is the answer? And eventually they all are like, well, we're just not organized. I mean, we just need to be organized because, like, yeah, they're getting in arguments like, well, we do have more people. There's way more of us, and we've shown that. And these riots did accomplish something. And no, actually, yeah, we should burn down the Target, and we should burn down the police station. Like, people are getting there through these riots, which is insanely inspiring. Like, to watch that happening in real time to like big figures with like fucking Spotify deals. You know what I mean? So, I mean, now they are rappers, so they're already like part of a marginalized community usually. Not rappers, but, you know, black people.
I was going to say rappers, you know, historically big fans of the police.
Yeah, rappers and gamers both have real hard times.
But yeah, so that's sort of what I've been seeing that I think is cool.
Yeah.
And but yes, I do find myself like daydreaming about somebody coming along that can ride this fucking wave, surf on it, if you will, and guide us like as a people towards this class consciousness. Just finish this shit off. Just get us over the fucking hump,
Right.
so that we're there and we all are in agreement. This is what needs to be done. I don't care if we even call it socialism or communism or whatever, because it probably won't be called that. I wish, but
Right, we're gonna find like a family friendly name for it.
John Boyega-ism.
John Boyega. Bam.
Yeah, I just don't want the fucking fash to pick it up. That's always a fear of mine, is when the fash they tap into this shit better, because you see right now, and I tweeted about this yesterday, what the liberals are doing. The liberals have officially sided with Trump's outside agitator narrative, which, not saying that some of the shit wasn't caused by Proud Boys dressing up as Black Bloc, which we definitely saw that and is happening, but
okay, listen. That's not.
But to act like overall, you know, the people in the crowds are a bunch of fucking Russian assets.
Right,
or something
right.
is
And liberals
asinine,
want to have their cake and eat it too by being like, well, we support the protests, but the rioting and the burning and shit, that's not even being done by the right, is what they're trying to say.
Acting like the cops and the cops' neighbors and and the cops' other friends showing up in basically undercover clothes and instigating violence, as well as cops showing up in riot gear and just shooting tear gas at perfectly peaceful crowds, is what's making this. And to say that this is being instigated by that it's being instigated by people outside, that the legitimate protesters want peaceful want a peaceful protest, is terrifying to hear and to look with your eyes and see the evidence that it is a lie.
Right.
But then to hear
they're trying to neoliberalize it.
Repeated on every fucking platform everywhere.
Right. Nima Shirazi of Citations Needed tweeted out like evidence that this is not a new thing that the neoliberalists have been doing. They did this quite a bit during the gay rights movement and during the civil rights movement as well, to say that there were outside agitators to be, they were the ones that were messing things up for the peaceful protesters. And it's like, yeah, I mean, like, sure, I bet you a lot of these things did start out peaceful. Of course they were. But, the people who were agitating were the cops. Like, they were the ones who started this shit. Like, burning things down is just a form of self-defense at that point.
Yep.
I mean,
throwing Molotovs at cops that are disfiguring members of the press and silencing our
that are
first...
kettling people, fucking exactly, cornering them.
Also, members of the press who are not on our side. They were not on our side, but I'm heartbroken to hear that this woman is blind now, who is just trying to report things, as probably unbiasedly as she could.
Yeah, why couldn't this happen to Neera Tanden? Just...
Neera Tanden would never.
No.
She would never be a beat reporter.
I know it's hard for people to understand, like the anger that is permeating from these communities. Like, if you've never lived in them, or you've never driven through them, or you've never then you're not going to understand it. But burning a fucking Target down is an act of like, it's all that we have. It's literally all we have. There's not voting. We don't have any fucking money. There's no other way we can affect change. So I'm saying that if our side is fucking just straight up out of the gate burning shit the fuck down, I don't care. I like it. I think it's good. Like, and keep
absolutely.
doing it.
I could shed fucking no tears over a Target or an Arby's or like fucking, and the people who do are the biggest clowns on the planet.
I bet you if social media existed even 200, like go back in time 100 years ago, 200 years ago, it would still be the same fucking people, white fucking people posting about so and so pissed off. Shay's Rebellion. Why did they have to go throw blah blah? Like it's
right.
If you don't want people breaking shit, don't do things to piss them
Right.
off.
J.D. Rockefeller wouldn't have gone ahead and just like hose people down to the point where their skin was flaking off if they had just been okay with being poor.
Right.
Yeah. But they've always like bitched about like why they burned the J.C. Penney's in 1920 when they rioted about blah blah blah. Like,
right.
It's the same shit. Like, we don't care.
It's
it
like
burn.
fuck J.C. Penney's. Like, what does it
and that
matter?
whole like, oh, you're destroying your own community. It's like, no, motherfucker, the government destroyed this community. This community has been destroyed. They don't have any power over this community. Like, that's what they're expressing. Like, these communities, they're told they have to live in these communities because they don't have
100%.
material conditions to live anywhere else. So no, they're ruining your society, not their own. Like, this is what people watching don't understand. These people do not feel like these are their communities. They're the police's communities, and that's what they're expressing. And it just, I get angry at the people that are like, well, you could get this done a different way. And it's like, dude, I mean, I know this has been said a million times, but everything's been fucking tried. We've tried every other fucking thing. Like,
I mean, they still fucking killed
like
Martin
people have
Luther
been
King.
fucking patient.
Like, he was,
and that too.
he was like a non-aggressive leader, and they still fucking killed him.
If you think that the violence is bad, if you think that the police escalating the protests like this is bad while it's in the streets in the city, just wait until they put the bullets into those guns.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
I mean, right now you can go tackle someone from the National Guard and get a select fire M16, but I mean,
you got to make it out. But
case.
if you do, you got yourself. I mean, or just buy a drill press. I mean,
you know how easy it is to
what's
body
worse
slam a riot
in
cop?
Minecraft.
The center of gravity. You just grab him by the legs.
Yeah.
You seen that video?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's me after a couple of dabs.
I mean, this is obviously a very like parodyable question, but like, I wonder how many cops have actively been trained in nighttime downtown conditions to look for IEDs. As they roll.
Ooh, parody in Minecraft.
Parody.
I was thinking the
Parody
exact
in
same
Minecraft.
thing.
How
funny
many
enough.
America's Proving Grounds simulations do nighttime minesweeping? Jesus
my
Christ.
Actually, well, so that's the thing,
no.
Zach. No, that comes with every copy of Windows.
Well, the bad news is, remember, Program 1033.
Talk about broken window theory.
Yikes.
Sorry.
Order 1033, the police, is it police? No, it's like military surplus sale and dissemination program, whatever the fuck it's called. Some horrible shitty name, but it's basically all the cops have MRAPs now, so.
Yeah. I mean, like, the town that I grew up in is just the smallest little, like, town, working class, nothing happens there, and the cops have a fucking MRAP. Like, the city itself is not bigger than 5 miles around. Like, what do you need that for?
And they're just itching to use it, too.
Well, you got to put your fucking Punisher
They can
stickers somewhere.
literally fit all of the police department into that MRAP.
Honestly, they could, because the MRAP, like, you could see it parked behind the
bigger
police
than the
station. It's
station.
fucking huge. It's big. It's
Yeah.
Well, the city's right on top of a fault line, so we don't have 2-story buildings there. But it's bigger than the station.
They had one of those in
Comrade
Wichita
Pangea
Falls, too.
Coming through again.
I would love it if just like the Earth opened up at that moment that they were deploying the
Yeah, I was
MRAP.
gonna ask, like, Dennis, living on a fault line, how does it feel to like know that like you can just like walk down the street and the Earth can snuff you?
Eh.
Okay,
without warning?
okay. Think about it this way:
Liberating.
enough select IEDs go off, allegedly, parody Minecraft, it then makes the Earth open
Yeah.
up. Okay,
Oh, okay.
It's the fault line, and then there goes your precious police station.
There it goes, right the hump, right on top
Act
of
of
the San
God.
Andreas
Do you think
Fault.
that would make the libs care about climate change now?
Oh man. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to call
Yeah.
it there. That is fucking hell of an episode. If
Yeah,
you've made it
right.
through all the way to our fault discourse, you're a true comrade, and we want to thank you for sticking around. We'd like to shout out all of our patrons, especially Scott,
Hey,
for contributing to our for
speak English?
contributing to our dialectical tier, and Spencer has asked us to shout out Devin Barrington Ward, a candidate for Georgia State Senate District 38, who they ran into supporting protesters over the weekend.
Fuck, that slaps. That rules.
Spencer, David, and so Devin Barrington Ward, David, and Adelaide for contributing to our Devil's Advocate tier. Everybody above helps keep the show plugging along. Everybody else that donates in the lower tiers, we also super appreciate y'all caring enough to give us, give us some monetary support.
Honestly, everyone who sat through this shit for an hour is a saint. In
Yeah.
my book,
Including
so,
us.
Yeah, so let us know how you our patrons liked our Patreon exclusive episode Riffenstein, and if you want to become a patron, remember you can do that for just $1 a month. Plugs for this week, Gigo Show.
Man, we might have to go on hiatus for the actual show, but check us out in the Discord. We're gonna be watching something, Airplane 2 and or Space Force. Bullet to my
Can we
head.
do Sports Radio 1917, but do it like remember that the fish tank show
Ooh,
where you
yeah,
score
no,
the fish
I mean,
scoring, but you just play footage of the riots. You play the unicorn riot stream behind the fish tank, and then you score the fish based off of.
like, I mean, no joke, Zach. You get me that stream, I can make something happen.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, also don't forget our bonus episode on Patreon, and check out our game show on Friday. Anyone
Hell
else
yeah.
got anything you want to plug?
JJ
Yeah.
Demon. Oh, I thought you were leaving.
Oh,
Go
no.
ahead, sorry.
No, we recently did an interview with vaporwave artist and leftist Data Girl over on Twitch. The YouTube version should be up soon as I get the video and edit it down a little bit.
Also, also we have to it can't come off of Twitch for a week, I believe, per our affiliate
Right.
agreement. But that's for us to worry about, and y'all to not worry about.
Yeah, but don't worry about that. It was really fun. Yeah, and Data Girl's been a supporter of me for a very long time, and I'm a big supporter of her, so it's cool.
Yeah, very good stream. Our Tuesday and Friday streams. Check out also JJ Demon's music on Spotify
or at protests.
or at protests.
Yeah.
available at protests near you.
Yeah, find a protest, and then if they're not playing my shit,
Put it
then
on.
have them play my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put it on.
it is good riot music.
Yeah, check out. I'm sorry, JJ. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say my contract's being renegotiated right now, and they took my fucking albums down off of streaming. But that song is still up, and my new one I just released is still up.
Well, don't worry. He won't starve. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But also in tandem, I found a whole case of my first album on CD, which I've been selling online. And it's not good. It's the album I hate that I talk shit on all the time. But people love it, so I've been able to stay afloat that way. But I did get my medical marijuana card.
There you go.
And I wanted to go out. I was going to do a bong rip for us to go out on. Because this is sort of a little way to end it. Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
I love
Yeah,
that.
Scott,
yeah.
do you have
we have
anything
anything
to
else
plug?
before that?
Scott.
You can catch me shit posting over on Facebook at asbestos and methamphetamines. That's my meme page. or
and also
Hell yeah.
also the
PDG
stockade the stockade of PDG. That's a little the beautiful field. The beautiful hayfield of PDG meme page that we have put out to pasture for the most part, but we still work them for shows every now and then.
Yes, I also do the PDG Facebook page as well, and various other
Hell
shit
yeah.
postings with Reddit and Kelton and everything else.
Jesus.
Yeah, buddy.
What can we do besides shitpost and financially support our comrades?
Well,
and,
yeah.
you know.
Fat Bond Rips is
Yeah.
what we can fucking
Yeah.
do. JJ, hit it.
I love
Yeah.
Drugs are good. I love drugs. I'm doing a drug. I'm doing a drug.
All right, deuces.
Howdy, y'all. Don't forget to follow our link tree in the show notes to discover new things like our Discord, social media platforms, and all the places where you can listen to our podcast. Word of mouth is the best way to introduce us and other leftist creators to friends, family, coworkers, your AA buddies. Community is about more than hot takes online. And if you want to support our efforts, you can donate to us at patreon.com/psychicdolphingarage, which is spelled how it sounds. Hope to see you on the stream tonight. Enjoy this music by JJ Demon.
How the fuck I still got a full head of hair? Not a single gray. Fuck the cops, family first, every single day. Bringing a charm when I ring the alarm. My arms got a box cutter insignia. We gotta abolish ICE, we gotta abolish ICE, abolish it. No need to apologize, the Holocaust apologists. For no reason we colonized the land and put up monuments. Dope needles, dollar signs, the globe stands in astonishment. I hope there'll be a punishment. I really wanna get bloody. I really wanna stand in judgment of anybody taking money from anybody in the struggle. Anybody on a budget. Poor people getting 10 to 20 for some dumb shit. Corporations incorporating a bloodlet. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words.